It was around 6 o'clock in the evening in Lilydale, and Amy, the yard pilot, was shunting a cattle train for Jeremey to take to Melbourne. Slowly and carefully, Amy coupled up the cattle train to Jeremey. Soon Amy was decoupled from the train, and Jeremey departed Lilydale to take the livestock to Melbourne. Though that she would have other jobs to do, this was Amy's final job for the evening, so she went off to the sheds to get a good night's rest. Though that she had to get up early the next morning, because tomorrow was Victor's surprise birthday party, but he didn't know that yet. As Amy was slowly backing up towards the sheds, Victor was waiting for her.
Ooh, hello Amy. Was your day okay today?
Good evening, Victor. My day was alright. Just finished off with the last shunting duty for the night. Just gonna get an early, rest, I guess.
Ooh, that's nice. Also, I have exciting news. It looks like I'm gonna get my first firing in several years. This is amazing. But the engineers, they say that my voice might get affected. So, I'm quite a bit scared about that. But anyways, hopefully it will all go well as planned.
Well, Victor, it's really good news, but sad enough that your voice might get affected. Oh, anyways, I'm not feeling quite as tired this evening. You might as well, tell me a story to get me to sleep?
A story, eh? Well, how about a story from the olden days, eh?
Not a bad idea, Victor. Please, go ahead.
Well, it went like this.
And this was the story Victor told. The line to Lilydale was officially opened on the 1st of December of 1882, and by 1886 the government decided to extend the line to the nearby mountains of the Yarra Valley, with Coldstream being its first station, then Yarring, and finally reaching Yarra Glen in 1888, and later extended to Tarawara, and finally Healesville, the final station on the line, on the 1st of March 1889. The engines who helped build the line was Victor and a little tank engine named Emerald, and throughout the years the trio worked the line like clockwise. Victor mostly did goods work, and Emerald did the passenger work. They would always assist each other when double-heading, and they would always do their own shunting, though it actually did get annoying with Emerald having to do coal deliveries over her passenger work. And in the autumn of 1901, a new engine would arrive on the branch line to assist with the shunting and the coal deliveries, and her name was Amy. She was an experimental engine for the new class called the EE class, and carried the numbers 462. She would be soon reclassified as an E class, but I'll get to that in a moment. And as promised, Amy ran special coal deliveries twice a week to all the coal hoppers along the branch line. She would also do her own shunting at Lilydale, which was a relief for Emerald as she could get back to passenger work once again. And Amy would also help out on Victor with double-heading trains on certain occasions. And when the day was over, Amy would sleep in the shed at Lilydale, and Victor and Emerald slept in the shed in Healesville. And that's how the branch line's daily routine goes. Now, it is time for the serious part. It comes to my previous question on how Amy went from an EE class to an E class. The answer was simple. It all started in the winter of 1924. Amy wanted to test her own strength, so she pulled a long line of coal cars that would be delivered to Lilydale, and then an engine up there will take it beyond towards Melbourne. It was meant to be Victor's job, but Amy took it anyway. Victor was kind of worried for Amy, and so was Emerald.
Are you sure you want to do this, Amy?
Of course, Victor. Why else would I want to do it?
Well, it's just that...
We don't want you to get into a bad accident, dearie. We just want you to be more safe with only just 1 or 2 cars. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, Emerald, I do want to try this. I'm sick of just pulling 1 or 2 cars. I just want to see how strong I am. Well, it's up to you, Victor. Do you think that Amy should do this?
Well, she did want to test her own strength, and she has said that a couple of times. So, I'll let it slip, and you can do it, Amy. I believe in you.
Wow, thanks, Victor. What? You're crazy. She can't pull that entire train.
Calm down, dearie. This is only for her one chance, and one chance only.
Fine. Amy, the safety requirements of pulling a long goods train comes with a lot of responsibility. You will have to take that train all the way to Lilydale without popping a piston. You understand? Yes, Emerald, I understand. Good. Now, please be careful around Tarawara. There's currently some rail works up there. They're working on the new goods shed at the moment. So please beware and take cautionly slowly. And watch out for the flagmen that are holding a yellow flag. If they're holding that up, please remember to slow down. Alright, Emerald, I understand. Good. Now please be on your way. Right you are.
Pulling with all her might, Amy departed Healesville station and started making her way towards Lilydale station. Though that the cars were very heavy, Amy had to prove Victor and Emerald wrong that she couldn't do it and take the trucks all the way to her destination. Soon, Amy started to pick up speed and started making her way down the line. But soon, disaster laid ahead. The workmen that were working on the new goods shed had went off to go get lunch. But what they didn't know is that they forgot to switch the points to the branch line. Amy couldn't see the switches up ahead, but his driver did. He could see that the switch was throwing them in the right position. Quick! Stop the train! After the big accident, Amy went to the little shed in Lilydale for a big overhaul. Victor and Emerald were very sad to hear about Amy's accident, and they couldn't even get inside the shed, nor could get a good peek of inside the shed as she was undergoing her overhaul. But still, work still had to go on. Emerald continued on with her passenger work, and Victor continued on with his freight work, and also doing the daily coal deliveries. The workmen predict that Amy will be back in service in 3 years, but they'll just have to wait and see very soon. It would come to their surprise as Amy would be out of the workshops 16 months later, in the spring of 1925. And when Amy was finally out of the shed, Victor and Emerald could not believe their eyes. Amy was reclassified as an E-class, just like Emerald, but with more abilities, such as speed and power, more strength, a new boiler, a new coat of paint, and also carried the numbers 356. People didn't recognize her in her new shape, but they got used to it over the coming years. She returned to active service, doing shunting duties with more heavier loads. Amy also returned to the daily coal deliveries twice a week, but this time with 2 extra coal cars. On Wednesdays, Amy would do early morning cattle trains. And during the springtime, Amy would deliver a special train down to Yarra Glen full of supplies for the official market festival. And when that happened, Amy showed off her own shunting skills to the public at Yarra Glen Station. And Victor and Emerald ran a special train from Lilydale to Yarra Glen called the Market Shuttles, which was a very important train. It was to deliver all locals or tourists to visit the market wherever they want to.
and could return back to their normal stations later in the day. They thought their line would continue on for years to come, but in 1955, all of that would come to an end, with Emerald, Victor and Amy having running the branch line for almost 64 years, and with dieselization starting to come around, they only had 3 choices left. Either 1. Be reassigned for shunting duties only, 2. To stay for preservation, or 3. Be withdrawn from service. Emerald decided to be reassigned for shunting duties only, but they all didn't know where she went after that. Victor decided to be withdrawn from service. He had a good run in his life, but that did make Amy sad. She decided to stay on the branch line for preservation. And over the years, Amy would be introduced to the new diesels one by one. The first diesel she would ever meet was Mr. Walker, a 153 horsepower Walker rail motor. He ran the shuttles between Lilydale and Healesville, picking up and dropping off passengers to their destinations, whilst Amy at the time handled the goods work. The next diesel she would ever meet was Tyler, the flat-top T-Class. He would mostly be seen going up and down the Lilydale line, picking up and dropping off freight trains that come from Melbourne and to Melbourne, where Amy would pick them up from Lilydale and take them beyond towards Healesville and return the train back to Lilydale for Tyler or either other diesel to pick up. He would also run the daily coal deliveries twice a week. The last diesel she would ever meet was UV, who came down to the branch line to help out with the freight duties. He arrived on a passenger train. He was freshly new out of the works and needed the experience. So the next few days, Amy would teach UV how to handle freight cars as well as shunting. And throughout the days and months, no matter the weather, UV handled all the goods works along the branch line. He also did a very good job at shunting, which was a big improvement for him. And one time, UV had to leave the branch line to drop off supplies to Newport workshops. And even after his big visit to Newport workshops, he brought back Victor to the branch line. Amy got the shock of her life when she saw Victor coming back to the branch line. He was looking out of shape, looking a bit withered, had a lot of scrapes and scratches, starting to see a few rusts, missing a few parts, and had a few smashed windows. Victor was bought for over $50,000 to be restored to active service and would be used for tourist attractions in the future. And so on, the railway continues to be responsible, reliable, and most of all, really useful.
And that's how history was made. Did you get all that, Amy?
Yeah.
Oh, good night, Amy. I'll see you in the morning. Oh, it's morning. Good morning, Amy. Wait a minute. Where's Amy? Maybe she had to do another job. Oh well, at least you won't get to see me in action. Alright, so according to the workers, once I'm fully fired up, I'm gonna be turned on the turntable and do a test trial down to Healesville. Haven't been there for a while, but it'll be a great experience. Alright, time to get myself fired up. Don't want to stay here for too long. Oh. It's great to be back in full steam. Wait, hold on a sec. Oh, my old voice. It's actually back. Probably that first firing actually got my old voice back. Wow, this is amazing.
I cannot wait to show everyone this. But first, I must go get turned around to do my test trials. Let's do this. The trial run was going so well for Victor, but he was quite worried that he couldn't even find any of his friends. He couldn't find UV, nor could he see Mr. Walker, nor could he see Tyler in sight, nor could he find Amy. Where is everyone? Maybe they left me behind. Or maybe they left just to leave me alone. I hope they didn't hate me. But I'll soon find them somewhere. As he was traveling down the line, he blew his whistle so loud. But there was no reply back. Soon, Victor was starting to enter Healesville, and then he noticed something else. He could see some of his friends and some other locomotives he didn't recognize. So Victor went up to the yards and had to go look and see why was everyone all gathered in the yards. Hey everyone, I'm back. By the way, why are you all gathered here? Is this a meeting or something? I'm sorry if I'm disturbing you. I should get going. No, Victor. There is a reason why we're all gathered here today. It's to celebrate something very special for you. It's your birthday, partner.
Also, some of us mainline engines have come to celebrate your life back to the railway after your restoration.
We're all glad to be here enjoying the fun.
And we're also glad to take a day off just to celebrate the special occasion. And it wouldn't be fair if some of us shunting locomotives weren't invited to see the most famous steam engine on this branch line.
It's great to finally meet you, Victor.
And from all of us here, happy birthday, Victor.
Aw, thanks everyone. It's great to be back in service. And I almost forgot about my birthday, and I'll never forget it for the rest of my life. If only Emerald could see this day coming. I already did, dearie. Huh? Hello, Victor. Long time no see. What? Emerald, is that actually you, my dear? Yeah, it's been a while since we last saw each other, Victor. But hey, guess what? I'm still in service, and now I serve as the yard shunter for Frankston. I also run the Stony Point line for passenger services, so there's no point of me retiring anytime soon. I knew I had to come down here for this special occasion, but I wasn't expecting to come down here today. So, it's great to see you again, Victor. Wow, this is actually amazing. I'm glad to see you again, Emerald. Wow, my gosh. Thank you everyone for coming. This is the best birthday I've ever had in my entire life, and I'll never forget about this one. Actually, Victor, there's only one more surprise for you. What is it, Amy? I'd like to present to you your brand new red wooden tourism vintage rail carriages. Wow, Amy, this is fantastic. My own carriages for tourism? Wow, this is the best day of my life, and I'm sure I'm going to keep on smiling for the rest of my life. And like what he said, Victor would keep on smiling for the rest of his life. And for the rest of his life, Victor continued his career as a tourist attraction, taking tourist trains on the weekends. He would also take over for Mr. Walker if he ever broke down or needed some maintenance. And I'm sure that Victor will live a happy life. Wouldn't you agree?